Brad Williams, Excel primed. Mark if project is finished, otherwise not finished. Simple enough. Now, really, this is just about being patient in terms of inputting. You're going to have to either enter the hard-coded stuff, which you're going to be forced to do that here because we don't have my quasi-filter rows or cells. Okay, what I mean by that? We could put finished and not finished up here in 2 cells and not have to deal with the inputting. We could just go directly cell reference to those 2 inputs. I designed this specifically to make life interesting. Here we go. We have carpenter, plumbing, electrical, similar to the other tutorial. What we're looking for is, well, is it finished? Not finished. Finished. F9 just to make it more interesting. And you're going to see here, it's going to say how many jobs are finished. 1. That's columns only for this date. Notice. Okay, we're going to have 3 examples here. We have, is project finished? Not finished. You see any projects that's finished? No. Hit F9 until you do. Not finished. Finished. Finished here. And this had better add up to 4. And here it's a variable. And is project finished? You can state whether it is yes, no, not finished, whatever you want. Our anatomy. We're using 3 examples, so you're going to have 3 different inputs. We have this for how many jobs are finished. We have this, is project finished, and then finished. Over here, using a formula based on the COUNTIF, and by now, if you aren't seeing the pattern here, we're using COUNTIF because we're counting everything if it is true. Then we can put whatever output we want here. If it's true, we can say it's finished. If it's not finished. Here we have a whole bunch of different ways to do this. We have COUNTIF, not finished. This is going to say it is finished, not finished. Then we're going to have this other equals 0, so it's going to give us a 1 or a 0. And if, this just spits out if it's true, finished. If it's not finished. The formulas rely on the standard COUNTIF. The list is C5 to C8, and the criteria is not equal. Okay, not equal. Not equal to not finished. That's not something you're going to say 100 times over. Not equal, not finished. What's negative plus negative? It's a positive. I know why I put this in front of you, because we don't think this way in a typical structure. We're always thinking forward, and here this is not equal, not finished. Not equals okay. The COUNTIF function then returns the number of cells that do not contain okay and compares this number to 0. Formula returns true if the count is 0. If the count is greater than 0, the formula will return false. Okay? Empty, you can use a more generic version. That is, if you think there's going to be empty cells, you can use the count A. We're using the COUNTIF here. We're using COUNTIF. Then here, we're going to use the count A. Not applicable because I don't think I threw any blanks in here. There's no penalty by using count A. So let's take a look here. COUNTIF, we have an if statement. COUNTIF C5 CA not finished. If it is equals 0, then finished, not finished. If COUNTIF equals 0, then it's finished. Otherwise, it's not. Just a standard if with COUNTIF. Look here, and then we can look at this. Logical test. This is the if statement. Remember, we have an if, so we have a logical test, and our logical test is true or false. Some would say this is a quasi-Boolean, but here they're just saying it is a discrete formula. We're asking if COUNTIF is equal to 0, yes or no. Then the outcome, then go here, then value of true. Otherwise, value of false. Pretty nifty, yeah? Let's look, F9. Does this equal 0? We're asking COUNTIF not finished. It doesn't equal 0. The only way this is going to say, here, F9, not finished, not finished, not finished, not. This may take a second or two, not finished. So we're looking for not finished, not finished, not finished, not finished. Oops, sorry, I just overwrote it. You kind of get, I think, here you go. We have finished. It's just asking, is this not finished? No, so this better be true. COUNTIF, go back here, and logical test, F9, and it says true. If COUNTIF is equal to 0, in other words, false, it's going to get finished. I mean, true. If COUNTIF not finished equals 0, finished. And this is going to equal 0. Logical test, F9, true. Or, let's take a look. I don't know if this will work. F9, 0 equals 0. True is equal to 0 in this case. And it's finished. I know I don't need to show you this, but I want to show you this. Moving on. You got that? COUNTIF C5, C8, finished. C5 to C8. This is just saying count. Finished. Simple. Yeah? How many jobs are finished? 4. It's just counting. Finished. And then here, the same thing as above. We're just saying COUNTIF finished equals count A equals true. You remember? This is a kind of a long way around the finish line. We're throwing in count A equals true. You're seeing this is the equivalent of this 0. We want to just make sure there are no blanks. And this will count if there are any blanks, and then finish, etc., etc. I could just say, just use these formulas and move on. I think I want to dissect this. And if it's not of interest to you, either email me and say you're shorten up your narratives, or, yeah, that was great, and applaud and give me, thumbs up emoji or emoji or whatever the hell you call those things. I don't use them. My sister does, to an excess, but hey, hope that was helpful. Brad Williams, XL Prime.